right, hey everybody, I'm Jeff.
And I'm John.
And welcome to another exciting, fun-filled episode of Discussing Diecast with Jeff
And John.
All right. Well, pitter patter, let's get at her. There's a lot to talk about this week. We've been kind of wrapped up in shipping the last few weeks, and it's been an all hands-on-deck kind of situation for us over at Awesome Diecast. But we finally got a few minutes now that everything is out the door to talk about some of the new models that have come in the door over the last roughly 10 days. So without any further delay, let's get at it, and I'll have my associate, John, start with a beautiful piece that we just got in from GT Spirit.
Look at this. This is the 2020 long-awaited Corvette C8, which when I saw this, I thought, like, what in the world have we got here? We've been waiting for this for so long, and here it is. It came out in February 2020, the original one, or the real car, not the original, the real car. It's powered by a 6.2 LT2 V8 engine. Now, its prices start at $59,900.
Wait, but you're forgetting to say the most important thing.
That it's a mid-engine car.
Right, the first time ever that the Corvette has the engine behind the driver instead of in front of him.
GM actually produced this car, and the last one they had as a mid-engine was the Pontiac Fiero, which they actually...
Fiero.
Fiero?
Fiero, whatever. Maybe in England it's Fiero, but in the
we
States
had
where
one
it's
in England,
Fiero,
which they actually
which means fire, I think, or something like that in Spanish.
Well, this is
or maybe not.
All American.
I don't speak Spanish, so I don't even know what it means, but it sounds like a Spanish word.
The Pontiac Fiero was discontinued in 1988. Now, Corvette was started in 1953, and believe it or not, this is the first time that they've actually made a right-hand drive version of this for the Japanese and the UK market since 1953.
Wow. Well, the only problem with driving a Corvette in England is how much is a gallon of gas?
It was approximately $10 a gallon. I mean, I did
So you're going to fill up a 15-gallon tank, it's like $150?
I mean, I did have a 1988 Camaro in England, and it cost a fortune.
Was that back when you were like an Austin Powers kind of playboy?
I wouldn't say Austin
Or are you
Powers.
more James Bondish? What are you?
I think it was more James Bond, but it would like fill up from one gas station to the next gas station.
Okay.
Now these start, the real one, $59,995. If you want a fully loaded one, they're $80,000.
That's still very reasonable though for a car that looks like a Ferrari, is as fast as a Ferrari, but it's probably what, $70,000 less expensive than a base?
And it's in torch red, and for only $149.95.
Oh, that's this car.
That's this car.
In 1/18 scale.
Yeah, so if you don't want to spend $59,995, you can get one for $149.95.
All right, well, add a Corvette to your fleet, and if it's not a real one, then hopefully it's one of these. All right, thanks, John. I'm going to open up with something that just came in. This is, for those of you that know Iconic Replicas, that's our brand, and we have released a number of trucks. This is the number 5 in a series of vintage trucks that we've done in 1/43 scale. This is a Freightliner cab-over engine, COE, and it is in the colors of the Los Angeles Fire Department, which they use these kind of trucks for as a heavy wrecker. The fleet of fire trucks in LA numbers approximately 300. It's a very large fleet, and of course they have their own towing capabilities. And we released this truck just because, I don't know, it's something out of the ordinary. So die-cast and plastic, ABS plastic, so very strong, but reasonably priced, only $59.95. It's in the Just Arrived section. And if you are a collector of the iconic replica 143 trucks, this is definitely one you don't want to miss out on. Already selling really well. And speaking of which, from our model truck Mayhem, the BJ and the Bear, probably the fastest selling model release that we've ever had. We sold out in a little under, was it 9 days, 8, 9 days?
It was about 10 days, and some people were just going crazy.
Yeah, shipped all over the world. We shipped them, we just calculated, to 11 different countries. So for whatever reason, BJ and the Bear has a fondness for truck drivers around the world, and well, we're glad that Iconic Replicas could bring those to the collector market. But they sold out really quick, so if you think you like something with us, you know, you always want to make sure to jump on it while you still can. This one, very limited edition. We only made 252 of these, very limited. So if you're interested, $59.95, make sure you grab one of them. All right. Next on our agenda, I think I will give it over to my good man here, John. And why don't you talk about a couple of these 143 scale cars?
We have these. These just came in. This is the 143 scale Tesla Model 3, which...
In metallic red.
Yes, in metallic red, which I'm sure people can guess. That is the metallic red. Now, it was proved in March 2020, this year that is, it was the best-selling electric car with over 500,000 units delivered.
Delivered or ordered? I don't know.
No, they were delivered. So they were ordered, paid for, and delivered to the clients. Now they did a plus version, which does 263 miles on a full charge, and they did the long range version, which does 353 miles. Now, the prices start at $37,990. This one can be bought for a fraction of the price at $39.95, and it does come in this nice plastic acrylic case, so you can buy more than one and stack them on top.
It's probably just a matter of time before more and more vehicles become electric. I know GM is now focusing a major part of their R&D budget on electric vehicles, and what's her name, Maria Barrett or something like that, the CEO of GM, has already committed to a GM being almost fully electric within the next 10 years. So,
and the thing is, I've actually driven the one of these Teslas. Well, not this one. I drove the 100, and let me tell you, they go so fast you don't even realize how fast you're actually going. I topped over 100 mile an hour, which
really
unusual for me, as everybody knows that I.
Well, John likes to drive like this with his blinkers on, so for him to be going 100 miles an hour.
That was
either he has to go to the bathroom really badly, or there's a fast car under his foot. So, anyways, all right, that's cool. Tesla 143 scale, $39.95.
Now, the second one that I chose is also 143 scale, and this is the 1958 Porsche 356 Speedster, the convertible. This is known as the restoration model. It was part of the Steve McQueen collection. Now, again, it comes in the plastic acrylic case. It has the little Porsche logo on the top, which is very nice. Now, the 356 actually was produced since 1948. That was when.
Why do they call it a 356?
That one I haven't quite figured out, but again, rear engine, and it was actually designed and built by, or created by, Ferdinand Porsche Jr., whose father, Ferdinand Porsche Sr., is, known as Mr. Porsche. Now, when this first came out in 1948...
Well, his name is Porsche. His last name is Porsche, so his name is going to be Mr. Porsche.
Well, sometimes they make names and it's irrelevant to it.
Okay.
But when it came out, believe it or not, the coupe was $3,750.
Wow.
The convertible was $4,250. Now you wouldn't even buy a rotten one for that money. They're so collectible, and you can buy this one for only $24.95.
That is a great deal. From Greenlight, $24.95, the Porsche 356 Steve McQueen version. All right, thank you. On to my passion of buses. This week we released 6 new MCI D4505 buses in a variety of different colors. And, the way it works when you cast a model, you can't just go and make, 100, 200 of them. You generally do 1,000, 2,000 pieces, and then you find graphics to split the production up with. So, we had decided we hadn't done a D4505 in a number of months, and so this production of approximately 2,500 pieces included 7 different varieties, because we also did a blank that people can put their own graphics on. So Ontario Northland, an operator up in, of course, the northern part of Ontario. Greyhound Canada, been a great seller. We are now down to the last maybe 10% of the production. So if you're interested in Greyhound, you're a Greyhound collector, don't miss out on this bus. Not produced very often.
That one you need to get in quick. I've noticed when I've been pulling them to ship them, that one is one of the most popular ones I've been pulling.
Well, Greyhound in general is a very popular seller, whether it's some of the older buses release or the newer ones. There's just an affinity for that bus company out there, and people just seem to jump on everything that says Greyhound. Jefferson Lines, we did this bus for their 100th anniversary. They're out of Minneapolis. This one is kind of a cool bus. This is a troop transport for the Toronto Police Service. And it's in the graphics of Toronto Police. They actually do operate this real bus. Flixbus, more and more of them are being seen on the roads in the United States. That's a German company, but it's one of the fastest growing bus companies in the world, and they're in, I think, something like 27 countries now. So you're going to definitely be seeing Flixbuses, you know, they're here to stay, put it that way. And then the last one, of course, we did a Van Hool for Megabus. This is a bus that's seen everywhere. It's the double-decker, great graphics on it, and all of these buses are all $39.95, all die-cast metal, pad-printed graphics, rubber tires, and of course, accurate interiors. You know, I have to say we are getting some really positive feedback on the iconic Replica brand of buses. You know, we put a lot of effort into getting, you know, details and researching history and making sure that everything is accurate, and collectors really seem to be embracing that. So if you're a collector of iconic replica buses, we would love to have comments from you below just on what kind of bus you'd like to see made, maybe what company you'd like to see the graphics put on. I mean, just give us feedback, because at this point we're trying to guess what people want to see. But if collectors tell us what they like and what they'd like to have made, that definitely inspires us to continue building the line as we go into planning for 2021.
And some people are buying more than one of each type. I know when they phone up and they place an order, they're ordering 4 or 5 of each.
Well, you know, the interesting thing is that a couple of buses that we've had recently have sold out, and you see them on eBay. You know, for what was that one from Boston, was sold over $200 on eBay. So, you know, for whatever reason, if somebody wants that bus, they drive those prices up. But, you know, now they're still reasonably priced. We only do limited edition productions of 504 of each one. And the one thing we vow never to do is, once we make a bus and it sells out, we never make it again. So if you don't get it this time, you're either going to, you know, buy it on eBay or you're not going to have it. So check out the D4505s on our website in just arrived. Okay, John, what are you going to talk about next? No, actually, no.
I've used all my...
oh, you have?
Yeah, my items have all gone that I selected.
Okay, in that we're all still talking about buses, I just want to show you guys, this is the final production sample that we just received from the factory, where we get the final approvals going. This is a Dina Olympico, which we are producing for a client in Mexico. And the Dina is, well, it's based on the flexible coach, which was made in the States, but it's produced under license in Mexico. And it is probably the single most famous and popular bus in the annals of Mexican bus history. It was produced in '68, right in coinciding with the Olympics, which were in Mexico City, and that's where it got the name. But, you know, up to now, model buses in Mexico, for the most part, have been made by hand. They actually have small artisan companies that, out of tin, will shape buses and, you know, sell them for $200 a piece. And, you know, the quality is decent, but certainly not as good as die-cast. And for the very first time, Iconic Replicas will be releasing a completely die-cast version of the Dina Olympico, complete with a detailed interior, you know, positional front wheels, and it's going to have some great graphics. We have 6 different buses that are coming in the first run, and we hope to have these releasing end of December, beginning of January.
It's quite a heavy bus. I just lifted that up. I didn't realize.
Yeah. Well, it's probably a good pound and a half. I mean, it's solid metal, so it's the zinc that they use in die-cast metal. But we've taken great pains to make sure that this bus is very accurate. We have a number of experts in the Dina area, people that really love the bus, and we have made sure that we got everybody to give us their thumbs up approval before we actually told the factory, okay, go ahead and you guys can make these. So that's the Dina Olympico. Look for more information from us in the next couple of months. And to wrap things up, I wanted to talk about this beautiful truck that we just got in from Fire Replicas. This is a 1954 DC100T from Autocar. Now, Autocar is a company that was started in 1897, so it's definitely been in the trucking landscape of the United States for well over 100 years. And, you know, their first model was basically a one-cylinder tricycle. And they went on to build a delivery truck in 1899 that had a 700-pound payload. And up through the years, Autocars became known for, you know, mining, construction, heavy-duty, military usages. And they were bought by Volvo in 1981. And Volvo owned them until 2001, when they were sold to a group called the GVW Group. And since then, that company has continued keeping the Autocar brand alive. and producing mostly garbage trucks and public service vehicles. So, but this one in particular, limited edition of only 72.
72. It also comes in black over red. This is the red over black. Now the black over red, I believe there was only 36 made.
Okay, very, very, very limited edition pieces. They're $229.95 a piece. But when you consider that almost 250 parts go into making this truck, it's hand assembled. This is an absolutely stunning piece to add to any die-cast truck collection. Comes in this beautiful display case, and we only have a few left, maybe about 3 or 4 of each. So we only got 12 of each. They've been selling pretty well. We got them in 2 days ago, so already collectors are snapping them up. Don't take too long. If you're interested, just look up Autocar, A-U-T-O-C-A-R, no space, on our website, and these will come up. So that's basically it for me. Anything you want to talk about, or?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Well, that's really only just a fraction of the models that we've
covered
received.
everything for today. I mean, it has been a very crazy 2 weeks here.
Yeah, we've been shipping hundreds and hundreds of boxes. We had extra staff on board. John's been going out of his mind, but I have to applaud John for working 7 days a week last week to make sure that the team was on top. Of shipping, and this guy cracks the whip. He comes off as like the Jolly Roger from England, but man, he is a tyrant, when he gets going. So thank you, John. We all appreciate your efforts.
And I don't know if you know that myself and the team were here till 8 and 8:30 on many evenings to make sure that everybody got their buses.
And the interesting thing is, last week UPS actually had to send 2 additional trucks to our warehouse to pick up the number of boxes because we filled up the first truck. So, everybody's happy, including UPS, that, we're selling so many models. So anyways, we appreciate your support as always, and we really appreciate if you would add comments to our videos. Stuff you like, stuff you don't like, and, feedback is really what makes us do what we do. So on that happy note, stay healthy.
Stay safe.
Stay happy.
Stay whatever you like.
Just stay. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with the 7th episode of Discussing Diecast in a couple of weeks. But until then, all the best to you. And just remember, keep collecting diecast. Take care.
Cheerio.